What's up, friends and professionals? Gosh, it's good to see you guys today. I got motivated yesterday to get live on this topic today. And so we're just going to go for it right now. And I'm going to punch live on Instagram right now. There's a new feature, so we're going to try to do that at the same time. But thanks for joining today. The topic of today's entire thing is the ultimate marketing roadmap. And I was thinking about that. And then I added a subtitle, which is Before AI Comes for Your Job. And I've been talking on this topic now frequently because it's so top of mind to me. But the world is going to dramatically change with AI. Shocker. I know this is the first time anybody's ever said that. But I don't think you understand the velocity and the momentous shift that's going to happen when this world pivots. And so let me just take you through kind of a setup here, a foundation, so then we can talk about the ultimate marketing roadmap and how to react and what to do. All right. So I joked in the setting that call me loanstradamous because I'm going to break it down for you right now. Here's the first reality you have to center on. We became an internet first society in 2018 through 2025 or 2022 when COVID really hit. This is what I mean. Internet first society means instead of calling friends, family, loved ones for information, education, referrals, we go to the internet first. Okay, don't argue with me. We stare at screens all day long. I can have you pull your phone up right now and tell you how much screen time you're doing. It's just, the trend is astronomical. The proof is in the pudding. This is it. This is what's happening. We've become an internet first society. Does that mean we've abandoned all referral-based business, abandoned all connection to humanity? Of course not. No, we still talk to people. We get advice from realtors, advice from our friends, advice from our family, advice from our boss and coworkers and colleagues. Yes, but first, we go to the internet, which created an entire new experience for the world. Google, YouTube, gosh, online marketing, LendingTree, online lead aggregators, like the whole world, Zillow, the whole world shifted because internet information became accessible in our pockets. It changed human behavior, Amazon, etc. We're living proof of this. Okay, that's point one. Point two, because of that shift, now, as AI shifts into the world, we're going to become an AI-first society. Again, not overnight, not instantaneously. Doesn't take away from all human connection points, but just follow with me for a second and pay attention. What this means is, instead of going to the internet first, which I guess you could say the AI is internet, but we're going to be consumers, you, me, humans, are going to be going to an AI source for information first. Okay? You feel me on this? That's what's going to happen. Doing a quick check over at Instagram. Yeah, we're live. What's up there, Matt? All right. So when this full shift happens over the next X time period, pick your dystopian future, it's going to radically change humanity. I'm going to show you a clip from one of my favorite movies. Pay attention. Listen.
A road diverges in the desert. Lexus. The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled. Make sure you follow
Good evening, John. You can move the old-fashioned John Anderton. 21 stands provides gourmet cuisine. John Anderton, you could use a Guinness right about now. Stressed out, John Anderton.
Escape from it all, Harrison. Get away, John Anderton. Forget your troubles. What's so, John Anderton?
Do you remember this clip from Minority Report? Do you remember this? John Anderton, the main character, he's walking through the mall, and in that time, his eye and his face is being scanned and visually recognized, and advertisements are being customized to John Anderton. If you didn't remember this from Minority Report, go back and watch that movie. You're going to see the future again. This is what is happening in that movie, and this is what's going to be happening now. Have you guys been paying attention to when Siri and Alexa are listening to you? And so you say something, and then all of a sudden you have ads coming at you. We're heading into an AI-first society where humans are going to go and check on AI first, with AI first, to get information, referrals, etc. This is the reality we're all facing. So what does this mean for you? What do you have to do to pivot? What is the ultimate marketing roadmap for localized sales professionals in a world that's AI-centric, in a world that everyone is staring at phones or devices or listening to technology first? Okay, so I'm going to argue aggressively. Here's point number one of this live stream. I'm going to argue aggressively that it is not a technology adoption issue about loan officers or salespeople using technology. It's going to be about relevancy. Hear me on this word, relevancy. You are in a war for relevancy. If you have a past customer, let's just use a past customer as an example, not even a new lead, not even a new customer, a past customer who you've done business with, who you want to do repeat business with again and again and again and get referrals from again and again. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they've done business with you. This is the best possible scenario. Are they going to call you for your goods and services, for your education, for your advice, for your consultative wisdom, or are they going to go and check with AI first in their day-to-day operations on what they should do next? If you answered AI, you're following it, you're paying attention. This is a war for relevancy. And so when they can pull out a thing in their pocket and access all of human knowledge, what are they going to do when it comes to you? And most importantly, what are you going to do? So if this is a fight for relevancy, let's break down what you need to do to maintain relevance. Let's open up the roadmap to the ultimate guide for marketing today. All right. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go into it. Bam. Step one, identify. Identify. Who is it that you want to attract into your ecosystem? I know this is kindergarten level stuff, but we got to start at the very basics and build from there. Who is it? So obviously, I'm going to give you some ideas. We're going to roadmap through this thing. I'm going to scroll over here. We're going to talk through this thing. Obviously, you got clients. Okay, good. We got clients. You got your first-time home buyers. I put in veterans as an example. I put in past clients. Go on from there. But there is direct to clients that you want to connect with and identify and connect with. Understood. Easy. So when we get into what you say to them, they have problems and you have solutions. Okay, just stay high level with me and we're going to walk through this. First group of people you want to influence, clients. First, and then identify who they are, identify their problems, and we'll come to the solutions in a second. The next group are partners. The next group of people you want to identify are partners. These are realtors, builders, financial planners, CPAs, AI, which we'll get to in a second. But you have to identify who you want to influence and who you want to spend time with and who you want to be around before you can even get to content strategies and a relevancy marketing strategy to stay in the game with these people. You with me? Once you've identified these group of people, identify their problems and start making a list of their solutions. Now, I'm not going to break this down today into that strategy. We can do that on a deeper dive. This is a concept. You need to understand the concept in order to get into action. You need to understand the high level truths, and then you can build strategy and tactics and plans. They have problems. You have solutions. Who are they? I'm just going to give you some examples because I want you to, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but I don't want you to get lost here. Let's just go at past clients for a second. It's obvious. This is an easy one. You've done business with them before. You have past clients. What are their current problems today that they're facing? Today, if you were just to sit down and unpack this and think about it, bring up a whiteboard, bring up a Google Doc and really unpack this. What are their problems? Is there problems that they're stuck in their house because of affordability? They don't really have a really low interest rate and they don't know what to do. They have tons of equity amassed. They have high debt potentially in this high inflationary market environment. And they need to downsize, but they don't want to lose their low mortgage rate. They have a ton of equity and a high debt. They've amassed a bunch of high interest credit card debt. What do? How do they access their equity? Is it should they get an equity line? Should they do cash out? What are their problems? Are they trying to downsize, upsize? Is their family exploding and they don't know what to do and they're stuck in the same situation of affordability? Those are their problems. What are their solutions? This is the whiteboard opportunity. You're right, Carl. Good to see you, buddy. Home prices, inventory, et cetera. That's their problems. Let's talk about first-time home buyers, right? Picture the first-time home buyers. What are their problems today? Very similar stuff. Affordability, low interest rates are too high. They don't know if they're coming down. Should they wait? Home prices are gone through the roof. There's no inventory. What should they do? What solutions do you have? That's the homework part. That's the down, but we don't want to get down too deep right now. But I want you to understand that, like, when you're looking at who to identify, you're looking at their problems, you can whiteboard this. You can do this. You can understand what they are. Next step, though, before we get into anything else, is connect. And again, I'll zoom out and I can send you the whole this amazing, unbelievable whiteboard. But you have to connect with these people. If you want to stay in relationship with them, if your problem, again, let's zoom back out. If your problem is relevancy, if your problem is they're not going to call you first, they're going to look at their phone, they're going to go to AI, they're going to talk to somebody else, they're not going to call you. If your problem is relevancy, then you need to be connected with these people in the places that they hang out. And you need to have a connection strategy, which we're going to get to right now. A connection strategy on one-to-many and one-to-one. But hear me, because I'm going to zoom in and then zoom back out again. Let's zoom in on connection. How are you connected to these people digitally? And how are you connected to these people physically? One to many, one to one. How are you connected to people digitally? A lot of people have a social media strategy today. They're posting on the internet. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm going to talk about it. That's great. But you aren't connected to anybody. You're not connected to your past clients, and therefore they will never see your content. You have to have a strategy to get connected to these people. What is yours? I'm not giving it to you today, but I want you to understand this is the macro view. This is the roadmap of how to build out a marketing strategy. Identify who you want to be connected with and connect with them on these places. So let's go to one to many. This is your social media strategy. This is the deep dive here. Okay, first you have to create and distribute information. Going back, right? We identified that these groups have problems. Okay, they have problems, and you have solutions. You identified who they are. They're your past clients. They're these first-time home buyers. They're veterans in your community, etc. People looking for renovation loans. People looking for reverse mortgages. Keep going. Find your group. Once you've identified your group, connect with them, find them, and create content for them. But don't stop at the base level. It's not just about creating content. It's about how you distribute the content. It's not just about how you create content. It's how and where you distribute that content. In a one-to-many scenario, you've got social media and you've got email. Many of you are great sales and marketing and mortgage professionals. You have databases. Are you taking content and distributing it intentionally to people via email? So let me just kind of go down the rabbit hole here. Again, I'm not going to give you your strategy, but I want you to understand how to build your own roadmap to success here. What is your email strategy for your past customers? If the problem is relevancy, you need to stay connected. You need to get top of mind. You need to leverage email to do that as part of your overall strategy. What is your strategy? If it is mass emailing your corporate marketing crap, I'm going to punch you in the face digitally. Stop it. That's not working. What are you talking about? It's not going to work. Something that somebody else wrote that has no relevance to anybody? No. What are their problems? And what are your solutions to their problems? Create content around that. Create email newsletters, create campaigns, create video messages, create video content that helps them understand their problems and your solutions, and distribute it via mass email. I would argue that your email, you need to have one intentional, great piece of mass distributed email per month to your right cohorts. If you're sophisticated, you'll have your different cohorts broken down and you'll be sending them to different messages, but that's your strategy. So if you're following me and you're kind of like starting to process this and you're starting to kind of go, okay, Alec, what are my next steps? Just write down, what is my email strategy? You need to have one. It needs to be good, not suck. Okay, but you're making great content to solve some problems of these cohorts, right? You're making great content to solve some problems of these cohorts. You're emailing it out. Great. What other ways can you distribute it? Social media. Absolutely. You should be having daily posts on social media platforms. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube for long form, YouTube Shorts for short form. You should have a strategy for this. Question 2 to write down. What is my social media strategy? I've made videos on this. I can send you tutorials on this. But just understand the marketing roadmap. If your problem is relevancy, to solve relevancy, you need consistent contact. In order to have consistent contact, you have various mediums to stay connected. Email and social are two of them that you have to have a strategy for. I'm going to slow down and say this again because I want you to listen. If the problem is relevancy, the solution to deal with the lack or diminishment of your relevancy is connection. Then you need to have a connection strategy across various mediums to stay relevant. Email has to be one of those mediums. Social media has to be one of those mediums. We're going to get into some more in a second. You need to show up daily on those social mediums, but before you do that, you have to make sure you're connected to the right group. Okay, I'm telling you this as succinctly and clearly as I can. If the problem is relevancy, the answer is human connection, and you need to be connected across multiple mediums. Get obsessed with this. This is the answer. Okay, so you know their problems. You're creating content to solve those problems. You're distributing it via email and social media on a regular basis. I think email has to be monthly at a minimum, and social media has to be daily at a minimum. If you can't do that today, that's okay. It's like saying, Alec, I can't go to the gym every single day and I can't eat healthy every day. Okay, can you do it once a week? Let's just get there. Don't baby step this thing, baby. What about Bob? Baby step it. But you have to have a strategy. Write down what is my email strategy and write down what is my social media strategy. These are one-to-many though. So you're going to pop up. I'm going to kind of go down the path of this a little bit, but if the game is a relevancy game, you need to show up in the places people are hanging out. They're hanging out in their email. They're hanging out on social media. You need to show up. Can you predict, though, if they're going to see your stuff? No. Email's got what? A 30% open rate chance. So maybe they're deleting it. Maybe they're seeing it. Well, social media's got what? How many views a month are you getting on social? Is every single person you're connected with seeing every single one of your social posts? No. So you're only getting so far with each of these strategies, but it's better than nothing, and it's making impressions. I want you to write down micro impressions matter. Micro impressions matter. Name an insurance company. Think of an insurance company in your head. Why did Geico pop into your head? Or State Farm or Farmer? Why did it pop into your head? Because of their micro impressions. Over time, they have consistently, systematically beat you in the face with their brand until when I ask you to think of an insurance company, it pops into your head. Your email strategy, your social strategy are doing those exact same things. Okay, but there's more. Let's go deeper. One-to-one. We did a one-to-many strategy. You need a one-to-one strategy. Again, if the problem is relevancy, the problem is that they're not going to go to you when they have issues and need solutions. They're going to go to their phone. They're going to go to AI. If that's the problem that we're all facing coming at us like a freight train, then the answer to that is consistent connection. You have a one-to-many strategy, email and social. What's your one-to-one strategy? Okay. This is the engage part. This is where you have to reach out and touch people. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Call. Do you have a call strategy to connect to the people you want to stay connected with? What is it? Is it once a year? That's probably not enough. So write down, after you wrote down, what's my email strategy? What's my social media strategy? Write down, what's my one-to-one call strategy? Is it one a quarter? How many times are you calling the people you want to be connected with, that you want to get referrals from? These are realtors. These are your customers. These are your past customers. What is your call strategy? I cannot tell you how many incredible salespeople have I sat down with, and when I ask this, they don't have one. They're living life organically, not systematically. What is your call strategy? How often are you going to call people? And let's move our way up the list. What's your text strategy? How often are you texting this group of people that you want to be connected with? How often? If it's your past clients and you're calling them once a quarter, are you texting them also once a quarter? What is it? What works for you? Let's just go back here though. Because I know I've been focusing on past clients because it's the easiest one to identify, but let's talk about your partners, your realtor partners. How often are you calling your realtors? It's not every week. That's too much. Unless they're your best freaking friends and you're working pre-quals together and working deals, you're not calling them every week. If you're prospecting them, it's too much. So how much is it? What is the right answer? What is your call strategy for the partners you're working with and prospecting? What's your text strategy? What are their problems? What are you sending over to help them? That's the game. Direct message, DM, direct messaging. Are you leveraging direct messaging on social media? How often? What's the solution? And are you commenting on people's posts that you want to stay connected with? How often? What's your solution? These are one-to-one intentional contacts. They partner magnificently with the one-to-many. Can you see it all a little bit like visually here? You have this amazing connect strategy where you have one-to-many and one-to-one, and you're systematic on this every week. This is the marketing roadmap. This is the guide to fight for relevancy. This is the guide to defend against AI, who's going to be your customer's best friend. They're going to talk to you all the time, not you. This is your path. So let's look at it a little bit. I know it's small on the screen. Deal with it. Okay, we all can zoom in, or we can figure this out together. This is the path. Identify who are you trying to stay connected with and maintain your relevancy with. This is the ultimate roadmap right here. Once you've identified who they are, what are their problems and what are the solutions you provide? And you might have to update this as the world changes. Thank God, because sometimes there's universal problems. If you're a first-time home buyer, you have universal problems. You don't know the mortgage process. You don't know how much down payment you need. You don't know your FICO scores. You don't know your credit requirements. Those are universal problems that will probably stay steady until guidelines change, which don't happen that often. But you also have market-based problems that the people are facing. So you have problems and you have solutions. Again, we're not deep diving on this, but you have these. Once you identified who it is and what their problems are, what the solutions are, connect with them, find them in the places they hang out, and then develop a one-to-many and a one-to-one marketing strategy to maintain your relevance. You got it. That's the game. This is the game. Pure and simple. This is the whole thing. Because very soon, AI is coming for your job. And what I mean by that is not that, I mean, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. They're not necessarily coming for your job. It's just going to come and take the place of you in your customer's life. Like they're just going to go there and check with AI when they need things. Hey, should I refinance now? I'm not taking crazy pills. You see this too, right? A little bit of frog in the throat. You see this too? Can you see the future where a customer just pulls up ChatGPT on their phone? It's like, hey, what are rates today? Can I refinance? Here's my scenario. Yeah. They could easily text you, but they're not going to. They're going to go down this path. Now, I'm going to end on a bonus pro tip. Now that you understand this roadmap, it's up to you to build it. Build it perfectly designed for you, what you think you should do, not what Alec thinks you should do. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of opinions on one-to-many strategies. How often should you email? How often should you post on social? I have tons of opinions. What's yours? What is your email strategy? What is your social media strategy? What is your one-to-one strategy? How often are you calling past clients and prospects and realtors? How much are you texting, direct messaging, and commenting on their posts? What is your strategy? You have to have one. Stop playing game organically. Stop it. That's the roadmap. Now I'm going to give you a pro tip. I'm going to go down a tangent here. I put this down here as partners as AI. You see this right here? I said partners AI. Maybe some of you saw this earlier. And you're like, what does Alec mean by this? Okay. So I'm going to give you the best allegory I've got on this. But it's clear to me, crystal clear to me, what needs to happen here. And if this makes sense for you, you're gonna be locked in here for the next 5 minutes. Again, this has a little bit to do with the roadmap, but everything it's connected. You'll see. In the glory days, our objective with realtors was what? Build human connection. Build human connection. And how would we do that? We would go to face-to-face broker previews, open houses. We'd call for appointments. We'd try to meet them at networking events. We'd send them mail. We'd send them email. We'd send them text. All of those efforts that we just talked about, the one-to-one efforts to get towards realtors, were designed for what? To build a relationship, to get the know you, like you, trust you thing down, to see if I can earn their business. We understand this. It's systematic. It's the original roadmap for how to grow your mortgage business. We were doing all that to build relevancy with that realtor, so that if that realtor was asked, well, who should I work with as a mortgage professional? They would be like, well, you got to call Alec. He's my guy. I've known him for years. He's a professional. I've worked with him, etc. He would refer to Alec. How do you get AI, which we all acknowledge is where the customer is going to go first for information? How do you get AI to refer you? It's a fascinating concept, right? In fact, many of you should pull up ChatGPT and Gemini and other AI sources today and be like, who's the best mortgage professional in my city? And watch what AI does when it starts looking up who the best mortgage professional is in the city. Because what's going to happen is it's going to tell you its thoughts. And then you can ask it the follow-up question that you should ask, which is, hey, where are you getting this information in order to come up with this person's name information? And it'll tell you. It'll be like, well, I looked at these sites, and here's the thought process I had, and here's how I came up with the best list of loan officers in this marketplace to work with. You do have a responsibility or opportunity in the future to influence AI to recommend you. The same way you would influence realtors and build trust and relationship with them, you have the same chance now to build it with AI. And I'm not the only one talking about this. Tom Ferry's talking about this. Everyone's talking about this, because AI today is doing what? It is going to the internet, not calling people. It's going to the internet to look up things and bringing together who it believes is the best mortgage professional based on its current way of processing information. And you can ask it to explain to you how it's processing information to come up with that. You have a responsibility now to influence, look, you have an opportunity now to influence AI. I think that is one of the coolest things I have seen in a long time. It'll even tell you its thought processes so that you can use that to go influence it further. Because if you want to maintain your relevancy and AI is the number one place consumers are going, then you need to make sure AI tells people to call you. What a fun game. I'm going to tell you what a lot of it looks like. It looks like content strategy. It looks like producing information. It looks like third-party reviews. It looks like a digital strategy. It 100% does. In fact, you can almost go back to the roadmap I just pointed out and look at the one-to-many strategy and be like, oh, that's the influence AI strategy. I'll put it back on the screen. This one-to-many strategy right here, forget email for a second, is effectively how to influence AI. Create content at scale on a daily basis, solving unique problems in your marketplace, put in some keywords and some buzzwords and some information and get some third-party reviews, and you're influencing AI. But this is another opportunity because when AI starts to become the main point of referral or of access for information for people, you need to show up there now too. It's like dominating the first page of Google. That was the thing, right? I need to dominate Google. Yeah. And now, yes, also AI. It's going to be a place where humans go hang out. This is the ultimate marketing roadmap. Identify who you want to be connected with and who you want to influence. Identify what their problems are and the unique solutions you provide. Connect with those people, find them on these platforms, use your ability to connect personally to these people, and then build a one-to-one and a one-to-many strategy to maintain your relevance. Build it, design it around what fits your personality type, your belief system about what is too much frequency and not enough frequency, but you don't have a choice. If you want to play, this is how you play. And along the way, you're going to influence AI. And you're going to be ready for the future. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but I'm going to show you the roadmap. You need to build it for yourself, all based on your personality, what you think is the right way to attack this. But there's no doubt in my mind, this is how you AI-proof your business. This is how you prepare for a future when it's a war for relevancy. Go kick some ass. See you on the internet.